All right. Feed's back live, but that's unfortunate. Anyway, yeah, Raj, I think you broke the stream with your early rant. So let me go delete previous streams so people don't get lost, and then we'll get the other stuff up. Maybe I'll throw some ads on that NBA one as well. Yeah, but no, I don't see anything on Giannis, so I don't know what you read. I know he had a tag from the last game because he's out, but not this one, not yet. If so, I gotta change my cover. Oh, all right, chat. Yo, chat. We'll give it a minute. Let you guys scoop back in here. I'm just thankful we didn't get halfway through the stream. I'm not sure what happened. It could be. You guys know we had tornadoes yesterday. Been spotty. What are you gonna do? Oh, Josh, man. Josh, you got more. Literally, I think you got more minutes today than I do on the channel, bro. It's Josh Gaming. I'm just gonna have to.
I'm just trying to take advantage before the season ends, man. I'm really like that's like a looming thing.
Oh yeah, true.
It's 3 weeks, I think we have, right? 4
You do
weeks.
DFS for baseball stuff? I mean,
yeah, but I mean, basketball is like
yeah, I know it's basketball. I feel you.
passion, but yeah, for sure, baseball. Yeah, definitely get him some baseball.
Oh yeah, Josh just went Josh was. I told you before we went live. Josh was going off about rewatching the Clippers, and you just don't see people rewatch regular season games, especially the Clippers and the Nuggets. But Josh was like happy about it, man. That's
Yeah, that I have the league pass, so I can go back and watch the game. So
the Andersons got tickets. All right, let me get a new link tweeted out. Chat, we're live, right? Me and more. Everyone hates Chris. Rob, sorry about that, guy. Stevie in here. Mock there. Probably need to put another one. If you didn't come back, I would have only myself to blame for lineups, right? Charles says, I thought I didn't pay my internet bill for a minute. No, I didn't pay my... No, I don't know what it is. It's very windy out there, like very windy. So I'm just going to blame that and not the fact that I probably need a new computer. But, hey, guys, do me a favor, man. Juice up this video with those thumbs up, man. Let's get this in the algorithm. I'll have to, retweet it out. But it's all right, man. It's a laid-back Cadillac Jack. Just 4 games on the docket tonight. So nothing too serious. Nothing that another tweet can't make up for. But, yeah, we were just having fun talking about how mediocre LeBron James is. I wonder how much of your rant didn't make air.
Maybe I'm saying
you were here going in it. I remember hearing an indicator. But it's all good. Chat, how'd you guys do last night? You guys make it out all right? It was a okay night for me. On PrizePicks, I only had a couple blemishes, but those blemishes were guys that I had a whole lot of. I mentioned Tyler Hero first half real points. Didn't quite get there. But what can
something was wrong with him. I mean, he didn't play his normal run, so
yeah. What are you gonna do? If Spoelstra wasn't happy with the way he was playing, pulled him.
I mean, he only scored 10 points in the entire game.
Yeah, like I said, he just looked out of it. What are you gonna do?
I have to figure out where. Oh, I accidentally uploaded your video on Twitter. What am I doing? So anyway, I hate live. Jeez. One of the I love doing the Osmo streams because they got producers that handle all this. I handling this crap while trying to navigate is a little bit tougher. But anyway, I'm tweeting out the new stream link, so I gotta get that out there. But yeah, chat, how did you guys do last night? Hopefully you did. If you didn't, what effed you over? It was one of those slates where we had plenty of studs to go after. We were all about the LeBron James narrative. I did kind of pre-flop had Luka over slightly above LeBron and then KD, which was the wrong way to go. KD and LeBron, especially LeBron 1, 2, 3, might have had enough LeBron to make it out alive. So I was happy about that. But yeah, LeBron back in Cleveland, man. It's one of those things, man. After it happened, people that didn't just shove it. It's like, man, why did I not? LeBron in Cleveland, do it. So hopefully you guys.
How much Powell did you have?
None. I'll talk about that. We on the last stream that we did, I was curious. Was it against?
It was against a fast-paced team. Was it the Rockets? No,
it wasn't it was after the Rockets.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on Dwight Powell for that game. I was like, all right, I think Dwight Powell is going to be my new Ibaka, where I like him and pace up spots. And then in that game,
great call.
But in that game, Marquise Chris got 20 minutes, so it messed up Dwight Powell, and Dwight Powell didn't do anything. And then last night, another pace up spot. I was like, man, I want to run it back, but Marquise Chris is in the shot. Marquise Chris didn't touch the court last night. So I didn't love that because I certainly was very privy to Powell in a matchup like that, and he thrived. Luka did not. Luka definitely had one of his floor games. Patrick Beverley, of course, sometimes Patrick Beverley takes it to a next gear where he knows that the guy he's going to be assigned to is a high profile kind of guy, and he just like takes it personally. And there were some plays where Patrick Beverley was playing mind games, right? He took it to a little bit next level on Luka, and it's very entertaining, but not when you wanted Luka to maybe go out there and did a trip dud. But chat. So I guess we're good. I guess we're good to go, man. Shout out to you guys for being patient with us, getting over into the new stream. I guess I can tweet out our Discord link. Okay, appreciate that, Jax. Shout out to Jax in the Discords. Nate says 2-day slump coming out like Superman. Let's go. Steve says I got there on PrizePicks with Joe Val, Horford first half, and Bay just barely getting there on fantasy points. Danger to safety dog. Says shooting guard options other than Clay if Levine is out doesn't look like the best of positions tonight. Yeah, it looks a little bit more shallow, or you might have to lean on a punt, right? Ali says Powell. Last night was hard to get to Powell. It certainly was. And then I said I didn't get to him, but the thought of Powell in those pace-up spots was something that we have discussed. And if I knew Marquise Chris wasn't going to play, I would have got to Powell. But that was the caveat for me, man. Brandon.
Hey, good call by Raj on KD, too.
KD did his thing. I think Seth Curry injury helped.
Josh, did you just come on the show to get this man? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Josh knows what's up. The neuroscientist knows what's up.
Raj, you catch any of my tweets this morning? I quote tweeted Odell Beckham.
Oh, I'm gonna go check Twitter.
Go check. Yeah, I want to hear your reaction. Brandon said, "Lost my money on DK last night. Finally started playing some Yahoo. Submitted 3 entries in 7, 5K fast break. Took the front. Let's go. $1,000. Let's go, Brandon. That's huge. Plus Dinwiddie's there now. It can get hot. Yeah. I need to know, Gunn. Would you play Quickly or Fournier? Probably Fournier just as the starter that's baked in for 30+ minutes, unless the Knicks throw us a random lineup. But Fournier, I think, could be 20+ real points in the absence of Randall, just compensating for those points generally. Luka
Odell knows what's up. Odell knows what's up. Matt Ryan to the Colts. I mean, he knows. Great receiver. He knows the game.
They know. You know what I should have did when we were off the air is fix the scenes. Anyway, I'm gonna go fix some scenes here, but just in terms of slate leaders, LeBron James led the entire slate in fantasy points with 76 of them on DK. Number 2, Josh. Number 2, real quick, and Raj. Who was number 2 on the slate last night in fantasy points?
Number 2 on the slate last night.
LeBron won.
Yeah, LeBron won. Number 2. Was it not KD or Luka?
No. He scored.
Oh, you over there. J-Val.
Nope.
No? Oh, damn. Okay. I'm just wrong.
Christian Wood.
Oh, right. Yep.
30.
Oh, yeah, did I mention him? And I didn't even play him. I mentioned him, didn't play him.
39
that guy is
real
frustrating.
Points. It really is. He hit 8 threes last night. 10 rebounds, 39 real points for him. He topped off Kevin Durant. 62 fantasy points. J-Val, 61. Darius Garland, 61. Darius Garland with 17 rebounds. This guy is baby Chris Paul as of late. Just an incredible assist numbers. Jason Tatum, 60. Kristaps Porzingis, hey, good news. he got over 30 minutes, right? 32 minutes for him. We knew that was a possibility. 6 stocks, 5 blocks for him. So that was huge for Fanduel. Trey Mann with 50 fantasy points, 35 real points. SGA 46. So who'd have thought SGA wouldn't lead his team of fantasy points with those minutes? Levine 46. Russell Westbrook, another good game for him. A double-double with assist. 20 real points. Cade Cunningham 45 fantasy points. And then really the rest of the slate kind of par for the course. And then, of course, the shocker of the slate was the Heat, right? Doing the job, looking at the lights for the Sixers on night 3 and 4 without Joel Embiid, without James Harden. Oh, man, if you guys played some Maxey, which everyone did, he was one of the highest owned players on the slate.
He came through so late, though. He was flopping in the first half.
Oh, you know why he came through? I looked it up for Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero gave up 9 of 12 shooting in the fourth quarter. And everyone was smoking him. And I think that's a big reason why he was losing minutes, too. So
Gotcha. Makes sense.
All right. I got to fix y'all's camera on the breakdown screen, but we're going to get over to the breakdown screen. And you guys know this stream powered by RunDFS.com. If you guys are looking to get access to my projections and the prop detector, be sure to go to RunDFS.com. That's the place where we don't just play DFS, we run DFS. And jump in that premium Discord every day before lock for about 2 hours. We're in the voice chat, chopping it up, making my player pool, talking some game theory. These boys are looking for props on PrizePicks, and as a group, we are digesting news and reacting to it, seeing who benefits from whatever just dropped. It's a big part of my daily process, and if you guys are looking to add to your DFS grind, you should definitely check it out. We did add the MLB season pass price yesterday. A couple of you guys have already taken advantage of that. It's not strictly for MLB. It's all things one size fits all here. You get the season pass. All that just means is you get VIP until the end of the regular season, which I believe is October 5th. So you get the rest of NBA, some NASCAR, and whatever else we might cover. And that's at $300 right now with a $100 credit towards Fantasy Cruncher. So after a rebate, that's a $200 value. That's really doggone good to unlock the power of the bomb detector at your fingertips. But let's talk some basketball here and get things going. Fish fan in the chat. Oh, I didn't think Fish would show his face today after the Heat job to the Sixers last night. Gun, there's still a problem. Too much Raj on the screen.
Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate. And Fish is one of those Jordan truthers, confused souls out here. He can't see it. He ain't Josh.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't organize who's on top. Josh, I will say, brings the ass. He's got this fancy mic. Every video he sends me, there's different lighting. Like, Josh put some work in. I'm telling you, Josh is literally gonna somehow take over my channel in like a year.
I don't have the time for that.
It's gonna be Josh Stacker Gaming. That's so stupid.
Get it.
Mock Wall says took 2 out of 4. What up, Mock? Did Gun say hi to you today? Yes, I did. Hello, Mia Moore. It doesn't count because this is the second stream. I know you asked if I want some more smoothie. The answer is yes, I could use some more smoothie. Anyway, let's open up that RunDFS.com NBA VIP Discord. By the way, chat, I did drop a OddsJam sponsored best bets video for tonight. Talked about 3 bets that I'm on for sports books. You can also translate that to some degree into PrizePicks tonight. Be sure to check that out. Leave some love on it. Hit them thumbs up. Leave some comments. And definitely check out the product they got. Warriors at the Magic. Game number 1 tonight. Project starting 5 for the Warriors. Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, Kevin Looney taking on Cole Anthony, RJ Hampton, Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr., and Mo Bamba. He's got O's calling 215 total, 7.5 point spread in favor of the Golden State Warriors. Warriors without Steph Curry, yet again. Andrew Wiggins, he's a little beat up. I think he's going to be closer to end, but we'll see. It is night 1 of a back-to-back, like Josh said. We might get some Steve Kerr curveballs some Steve Curveballs.
Ooh.
Come on.
I wasn't with that. I was not with that.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That was like...
Weak sauce.
Oh, my God. This guy. So we might, you might see like an Otto Porter starting, something like that. But last game we saw Draymond hit that starting lineup. They said he could play up to 28 minutes. Ended up getting ejected, so he didn't play up to 28 minutes. Maybe some of these prices have not been correctified. Have been efficiently corrected to reflect a potential 28-minute performance for him. He was a point per minute going into that ejection. So a couple of interesting clicks from a DFS standpoint, just points per dollar, salary, fantasy points. We did discuss this game almost ad nauseum for prop betting. The Magic will be without Jalen Suggs. We know Cole Anthony definitely benefits in that split, especially his assist percentage going from low 20s to mid 30s. There's a lot to like. There's a lot to be lukewarm on. It's still a 215 point total, a 7.5 point spread in favor of the visiting Warriors. It's one of the games that has the least implied points. It actually has the least implied points on the slate, but it just kind of feels like the most value here, the most opportunities here to take advantage of some usage in fluctuation. So on the Warriors side, Jordan Poole, 7-4 on both Fanduel and DraftKings, likely going to give you a shot at 20 plus real points, and then you're hoping for the peripherals to fill out there and get you close to 40 plus. I'd say on these shorter slates, we honor and we value floor fantasy points more than anything. A night like last night, we're looking for top percentile outcomes, ceilings and stuff like that. In this slate, there's less options, more opportunity to get away with some floor games. So if you thought like a high 38 game or something like that from a Clay or a Jordan Poole is possible. Last night I wouldn't want it. Today I'll put it in the mix. Same with Draymond. So I think I'm going to have basically anyone that's available for the Warriors in the starting lineup. And then on the Magic side, sprinkle in Cole Anthony. Wendell Carter, probably going to be pretty popular. He's been on a tear lately. Does get a little bit more Draymond attention, so maybe that's enough to push back if he gets over-owned. But generally speaking, a bunch of guys we can plan 30 minutes on and hope for the best. A little bit more stability, I think, pre-flop in what to expect from the Warriors. We know Draymond will facilitate a lot, and Clay, Jordan Poole are going to be responsible for probably 20-plus points apiece. From a real basketball standpoint, Josh, what do you expect the Warriors to come out with tonight against the Magic? Probably going to be a neutral to low-pace game, and like I said, not a lot of implied scoring. But who would you target here for fantasy? Is 8K Klay Thompson a little too much? I think what we like to see about Klay is that all of the perhaps restrictions that we have mentally on Klay Thompson can be essentially safely removed. Instead of playing 28 minutes or a 30-minute limit, we've seen him finally kind of break through. In that last game, he played 38 minutes. If you can start getting 38 minutes of Klay Thompson without Steph Curry, that could get pretty dangerous. Scoring dependent more than anything, but 20-plus shot attempts on a 4-game slate. I'm interested. Josh, what do I do with the Warriors?
Yeah, I mean, Poole and Klay are definitely going to chuck it in this matchup. I can definitely see them, hitting their threes. And the Magic are bottom 5 in 3-point defense. They give up like the 5th most threes in the league. It's just a matter of these guys are both really streaky. And Poole can get really cold, and then he can just turn it on later in the game. And then Klay, I just have been off of him because he's just been so inconsistent and not his normal self since coming back. But, I mean, the shot volume's there, right? And Andrew Wiggins is really banged up, and he's got some sore knees. He's had a wrap on his knee today, I saw in warm-up. So I'm most hesitant probably on him. But he is going to be involved and needed for rebounding and assists and everything. So Otto it was really, really efficient in that game against the Spurs. I was kind of worried that Steve Kerr was going to rest him today because they play tomorrow in Miami.
Yeah, that's something
it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, maybe he's a late scratch, but they tend not to do late scratches. He tends to come out that news pretty early. And then Kuminga, right? So this is a good spot for him going up against Franz, who they were drafted back to back in the top 10 draft this year. And Moody's questionable, so that would. If Moody's out, that's even more run for him. And then the one thing is that we need to look out for is Gary Payton's back finally, and he could get more run. So that could mix up the rotation a little bit. And yeah, so the minutes will be a little bit harder to predict, but I would say, Jordan Poole, just due to usage, is probably the primary target, and then maybe some tertiary guys like Otto and Kuminga.
Shout out to the live chat. JS Vocals, Doug Geely, Eric's prop stop. I'm used to seeing he made it happen. Parker Douglas, AOD with the ear. Josh says the whole Bomba call. Adam says, let's go Jays. Ugh.
Talk about it. Best team in the AL East this year. We stacking up. We got pitching. We got hitting.
This is Raj Day.
That is shook. That is just
shook.
That
is not shook. Okay, don't miss me with a couple singles off of Jordan Montgomery in spring training.
God is definitely shook. Oh my God, I can't wait. I mean, the Jays are going to be a 100-win team. That's for sure.
I will gladly take the under.
That's their 100-win team, baby.
Well, I know you don't know much about winning, but if you wanted to win tonight, Raj, what do you do with the Warriors and Magic?
It's Warriors and Magic. Obviously, no Curry. You got Wiggins is questionable here. He's probable, sorry, but if he's out, I think Jordan Poole here, 7-4, definitely in play here. Like I said, no Curry. He's going to chuck shots. Slow start last game, still got you 39 fantasy points. I think he can definitely kind of do it again. And I think that was kind of almost a floor game for him in that spot. So don't mind him there. Otto Porter Jr., big game last game, 4,900. Don't mind going back to him as kind of a value piece if you want. I think against Orlando, definitely some upside here. And then you got Klay Thompson, 8-1, not a comfortable price tag for, basically a catch and shoot guy. Not going to get you a lot of assists, not going to get you a lot of rebounds. He's going to have to kind of really shoot. He's going to probably have to hit, close to 7, 8, 9 threes if he wants the tournament value at 8-1. So not a guy I'm really kind of look at the target. On the Orlando side, Wendell Carter Jr. just keeps getting it done. I just don't think it doesn't matter about the matchup, the usage there. Past 4 games, 41, 48, 36, 59. 36 was in a blowout. And the 59 against OKC was in a 90-85 game. So that total was 175 points, and he still got you 60 fantasy points. Against Golden State, I'm with it again, 8,400. I think he's a guy that might get overlooked a little bit here, even on a 4-game slate. So I really like Wendell Carter Jr. It might even be a core piece for me.
I don't think he's getting overlooked, but we shall see. Wendell Carter's definitely been the apple of a lot of eyes as of late. I could see AK really asking the most, and I could see a couple favorable spots lately, especially 30 points on a very depleted Thunder team that has been hemorrhaging points to opposing front courts. So maybe he gets overvalued, especially we put context to a 28-minute Draymond Green, not an 18-minute ejected Draymond Green. So something to think about. Like I said, I think there's a real range of outcome where this game gets over-owned just because of the name value and the potential usage spots that you can replace. But is anyone stunned if no one on the Magic team is really that needed? And if I'm being honest, looking at my projections, I think the most interesting guy, ironically, is actually Markelle Fultz. He has been hyper efficient. I think that's a term that gets overused in the world, but hyper efficient is definitely something that Markelle Fultz has been. 21 fantasy points, 18 minutes, 32, 30, 18, 17 minutes. He's on a strict limit. This is one of those 4-game slate dart throws that I might get some exposure to and, think that, hey, 25 fantasy points on a 4-game slate from sub 5K just might mean a little bit more than it typically would on a big slate. Looking back at that rotation for the Warriors against the Spurs, after Draymond Green got ejected, we saw Kevin Looney come in that third quarter for Draymond when he got removed, and then after that there was a lot of Otto Porter continuing to stay out there. Otto Porter closed that game with Klay Thompson, with Andrew Wiggins, with Jordan Poole, and a little Kuminga. And like you mentioned, if there's no Moses Moody today with Gary Payton back, it could become even more unpredictable. They play the Heat tomorrow, right? So we have seen Steve Kerr punt parts of these back-to-backs, and you wonder if tomorrow's one of those punt games where mentioned the hey, it's cool to go out there and beat the Heat, but you don't have Steph Curry, so does it really matter if a top Western team beats a top Eastern team on a back-to-back in a couple weeks left in the season? Probably not. So I wouldn't be stunned if we see tomorrow get a little bit squirrely. But if they decide to front load some rest for a guy like Otto Porter or something like that, wouldn't be surprising. Hopefully he would let us know in advance. Let's get caught up on chat. Damien says Matson versus Draymond's not a deal. Yeah, I agree with that. Like I was saying, I wonder if the field might overvalue it. I don't have a pulse on ownership projections yet. What up, Jim? Shout out to Jim Parrish with the red panda. Panda. He's got broads in it. I don't know. He says, hi, Gun, Raj, and Josh. Hope all is well. See, you're still here, Gunner. Escape the tornadoes. Do we just stack Milwaukee tonight? Yeah, I like that game. But yeah, tornadoes like just skipped me. I was within a mile or two of a tornado that touched down, and I believe in Hewitt. So the sirens, it was real here, the sirens and all that stuff, but like it didn't hit where I'm at, thankfully. But we got incredible double rainbow. Anybody follow me on Twitter? Raj, did you see that? I tweeted that as well yesterday. Yep. I can't even put the words how vibrant that actually like. To see that in person was just insane. And have you guys ever seen that double rainbow video that was viral like 10 years ago? A double rainbow! Oh my god! Like that was me. Like that sucker was literally lit. So I was happy. But anyway, let's move on to the next game.
Hold on, just to bolster your Fultz call, he will probably see all his minutes against Chiozza. And Chiozza is a terrible defender. He has like a over 110 defensive rating, and yeah, he can't stop anybody, especially a big or strong athletic guard like Fultz. So I like that call by you.
Yeah, a little tournament action. Okay, let's go. Let's see. I think my girl might have tweeted it out yesterday. Yeah, I know we took some videos too, but so a little ironic. You know, Texans are weird, dude. Texans are weird. As soon as the tornado sirens started going off, I live in an apartment complex. There was more people outside because of the sirens than they were inside. It's just like maybe we're all safer if they don't put sirens. But let's see. Danny took a pretty awesome panoramic picture here. I don't know if I'm nerding out too much for you guys, but here it is right here. From my view, dude, this was just an incredible sight to just see. You see how ugly it was, but man, this double rainbow was just so bright and vibrant that it's just something you only see like in movies. So anyway, I don't know. I'm a nerd. Hawks at the Knicks. Next game on the docket. Project starting 5 for the Hawks. Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, Danilo Gallinari, Clint Capella, taking on Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, and Mitchell Robinson. Bogdan Bogdanovic, very important questionable tag on him. He's dealing with a right quad contusion. We already know Lou Williams is out. We know John Collins is out. And on the Knicks side, a little okie doke from them, was not expecting it last night. But Julius Randle will not play tonight. He has played a very nice 69 games out of like 71 for the Knicks this season. So this creates a huge gap to fill. Upwards of 40 minutes, 20-plus shot attempts, 10-plus rebounds. And right now, all eyes are on Obi Toppin, who probably ends up being the highest-owned player on this entire slate. 3,200 on DK, 3,700 on Fanduel. No pushback here. Makes a lot of sense. But replacing the Julius Randle usage is certainly something that is a little bit trickier because we don't have that many games with sample size. And then one of those games, I was trying to go back and build a case for Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson played like 5 minutes, and then I think got that was a game where he was sick and no one knew about it, and then he ended up I don't know. So there's not a whole lot of full game sample size to create just kind of a projected rotation, what might happen, who should thrive. So we just kind of put the tools away and just kind of look at this lineup. We know RJ Barrett's probably going to lead the team in minutes, lead the team in usage, all that other stuff. But how do we compensate for 20-plus shot attempts for Julius Randle, 10-plus rebounds? Well, I'm putting a little bit to Mitchell Robinson. I talked about a bet I really like on Mitchell Robinson. That video is on this channel. It's the Odds Jam Best NBA bets. So be sure to check that out before you move on today. And then Evan Fournier, uncomfortable click, but shot volume should be there for him. And then just from a matchup and points per dollar standpoint, RJ Barrett, I'm getting a 40-plus fantasy point projection for him. Josh ran the Crunch or the Add More Funds NBA Wowie tool on the PrizePicks stream. Say he gets about a fantasy point per minute. Maybe we boost that a little bit, considering the Hawks are a bottom 5 team in defensive efficiency, and knowing the usage can be that much higher. No Kemba Walker here versus what we might have saw earlier in the season. I think RJ Barrett has a real case to be one of the highest floor players on the slate. And then there's a lot to really just kind of stack together. And then, oh yeah, Trae Young is in Madison Square Garden, which is one of the more fun environments to watch a guy like Trae Young play. We know that crowd gets up and loves to cheer and boo and jeer Trae Young. We've seen a lot of viral videos of them shouting obscenities, and Trae Young has fully absorbed it, adopted it, embraced it, and he's even gone on WWE television with Sami Zayn and kind of played to the fact that New York hates Trae Young. So most hated man in New York tonight is Trae Young, and his backups or backup guards that could give him some rest here. Bogdanovich, Lou Williams, a couple points there off the board. We could have a really big minute game for Trae Young, and if he's playing real inspired basketball, could have a high ceiling game. I got him as one of my favorite plays on the slate today. Him and Jokic are the obvious pay up guys here. Raj, man, Trae Young narrative game. Are you in or out?
See, in a 4-game slate, I mean, if you're running 50 line, 100 lineups, I get it. In like a 3-entry max, I'm going no. I really like Giannis in the spot. I like Jokic, who's averaging 70 against the Clippers. Trae Young at 10-4, is definitely below those two, and I'm getting to those two a lot more. So I'm not in love with his. I get it. He's in New York, but I just think those other two guys are in prime spots.
Raj,
so I probably won't
you don't like fun.
No, I'm probably not getting to any Trae Young in 5 to 10. 5 lineups, definitely not. 10 probably, but 3-entry max definitely not. So not the biggest fan of Trae Young here. John Collins is still out, so if you want to go back to Gallinari, I think that's an option, especially with Bogdanovich questionable. Him at 5-1, definitely plenty of upside there. And the Knicks side with no Randall, RJ Barrett's going to be really popular here, for rightly so. 7,600, usage range above 30%. It's going to be his show. Going to chuck 25+ shots. Going to play make. So I don't mind that. Alec Burks is going to see a big bump in usage. Assist percentage goes up close to 27%. Usage close to 30%. 5,600 should play
30%. That sounds aggressive, Raj.
I mean,
are you just making this up?
No, it's Barrett and Burks. Both should have 30% usage here.
All right, I'm going to run the numbers on that. I feel like Burks is going to be closer to like 24, but I'm willing to be wrong here. 30 just seems high.
I remember, still no Kemba Walker, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll pull it up. Continue.
No Randall, no Kemba Walker. It should be the Burks and Barrett show. Obi Toppin at 3,200. I think as a 3K kind of value guy, should see 20+ minutes here. Don't mind him. He can get you a 30 bomb here if he has a good game against the Hawks. Don't hate that. Other than that, probably not get to anyone on the Knicks.
I think
I'm seeing 24% usage for
24?
Burks with Kemba, Randall, and Rose off the court.
Coach
Kemba, Randall, Rose.
Watch me. 30% usage. Yeah.
But he does have a
assist rate.
His fantasy points almost 1.2. It's right there with RJ Barrett's almost 1.2. Yeah, they're both pretty much spot on.
Yeah.
Each other.
And like I said, Julius Randle's missed 2 games. Yeah. So a lot of these numbers maybe lack consistency. Obviously, the minutes add up, but how are we getting 8, 10 minutes, 8 possessions in a row, 10 possessions in a row? Yeah. But I mean, I think this game is very attackable and it's very stackable. You were like, other than that, you can give me Mitchell. You can give me literally all 5 of the Knicks starters in lineups tonight. We can dig into that bench. A couple guys have dropped Jericho Sims in the chat. I think on a 4-game slate in mass entry, I might get to a little bit of that. I don't quite know what to expect in that front court. We obviously know Nerlens Noel still out, but yeah, it's not unreasonable to think that Sims or Taj Gibson or somebody like that gets a little extra run. With that said, the Hawks can play small. No John Collins here. You'll see lineups that could have some Gallinari at the 5, but right now I'm just projecting Capella and Okongwu to kind of split the center minutes down the middle, but it could get a little weird. Gallo revenge game thoughts? Anyway, and I think the Hawks are stackable. I think past Trae Young, if Bogdanovich ends up being rolled out, Josh made a case that Kevin Huerter could pick up some scoring here, pick up some shot attempts, pick up some extra minutes, and Gallinari as well, about 5K on both Fanduel and DK, could get to 30-plus fantasy points. So I do think this 226 total could definitely give us plenty of options to load up on. And Trae Young, man, if Trae Young has 40, 50 real points, I'm not surprised, man. I think it's one of those game scripts that could really build for another big real point game in the league. I watched a video this morning. It was in my YouTube recommended about how this season started, where players were not scoring and fouls weren't being called, and the league just kind of relaxed on all of those rule changes. And in the last month and a half, 2 months, we have seen so many 40-plus real point games and several 50-pluses that I guess that's what they want. I'm definitely a fan of more scoring. But yeah, Josh, do you got a hankering for Gallo and Huerter past Trae Young here? And Clint Capella feels like there's a little bit of room for upside on that price point. Him and Mitchell Robinson probably similar. I give Mitchell Robinson a little bit more lean on the. Actually, I got Capella projected for a little bit more fantasy points. But there's a lot of even 1v1s here that I think are similar plays, and I think there's a lot of value and really a lot of minutes projected on this Hawks team that I'm not getting on a lot of other teams. Do you have some love for the Hawks stack?
Okay, so if Bogdan is out, you think Huerter can push 36 minutes maybe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got him at 35 minutes right now.
Yeah. Let's say if head to head, since they're pretty much on FanDuel and DK the same price, if Bogdan's out and they both play 35 minutes each, who finishes with more fantasy points, Huerter or Fournier?
Probably Huerter. So I got a 2-point difference now, and if I lost 30 implied fantasy points of Bogdanovich, I'd probably just give 5 or more of that to Huerter. So in that split, my math would lean Huerter.
Okay, because I think that's an important decision to make if you're looking at this game, and since shooting guard is thin today, and those guys are sub 5K on FanDuel, you're gonna have to make a choice. Unless I wouldn't play both of them, because you're just gonna lose potential upside if a guy, one of the top guys goes off. So, yeah, it's a tough call for me because both these guys are just they'll have these spike games and then they'll go away, and then it just comes and goes, right? It's just so much fluctuation with them if their shot is falling or not.
Yeah. Chat, that like button is falling. You need to go catch it. And the way you catch it is by clicking on it. I don't know. That was dumb. Just pretending like that was smoother. Hit that thumbs up, man. Double check, see if you guys are subscribed. And turn that noti bell on. We are pumping out content, guys. Content. If you don't have that noti bell on, some of that content gets lost in the algorithm. Josh did a first look video this morning. I did a 3 best NBA bets video. We just did a PrizePicks stream. We did a DFS stream that got lost. So if you have the notifications on, it kind of saves it. But we're at 130 plus viewers with just 38 likes, man. I think and believe that we can get that number closer to 60 and kind of build on that as we go along. Lorenzo says, pull up Trae usage with Bog and John Collins off. Watch that number, Rod. Yeah, Trae Young will be over 30%. I get Rod's take. If you are pinching pennies and it comes down to, do I want Trae Young or do I want Giannis with no Middleton or Nikola Jokic? I get it. If you're in that position, it makes sense to lean the other guys. But I do have a sweet tooth for some Trae Young tonight. So I'm with that. And speaking of which, speaking of Jokic, we know that the Wendell Carter prop, the Taco Tuesday for for PrizePicks is going to be his rebound prop. But now it looks like we're having some intel on what might be the other prop via PrizePicks. And the Twitter voting was for one Nikola Jokic to get the second Taco Tuesday discount. And it looks like his rebound prop is going to go from 13 to 10.5. So I imagine we'd both be pretty privy to Nikola Jokic getting 10.5 rebounds against the LA Clippers front court. Just Jokic being a massive rebounder. So look out for that. If you guys have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, well, we're talking about a little site called PrizePicks. Oh yeah, it's DFS meets prop betting, and it's prop betting with a spin, man. We get to do a couple things on PrizePicks that you can't do on your normal sports book, such as bet on fantasy points and free throws. I'm not seeing free throws listed in a lot of markets, so we've been able to attack that, and then a lot of first half props too, which I'm not getting as wide of assortment on the books as well. So it's not one-to-one the sports betting in terms of the player prop market, but is a good way for DFS to meet prop betting, and we're already doing the research, going game by game, breaking down matchups. So it's a natural transition, and you're not facing optimizers, you're not facing geniuses, you're not facing neuroscientists with 150 lineups. You're just facing the line, man. It's easier to sweat, easier to have a real life, easier to get things done after lock, hang out with the family. You're just kind of peeking down at the box score. You don't have to worry about, oh, snap, this guy rolled out. I got to go rescript, blah, blah, blah. It's a much simpler sweat. So it's definitely something that I've added to my daily spend, and we've seen a big transition from you guys going from DFS grinders to a lot of you guys just like, I haven't logged into my DraftKings in a month because I've been grinding PrizePicks, man. I get it. It's a lot of fun. So if you guys haven't tried it yet and you just want to finally get a taste, well, if you use my code, they will double your first deposit up to $100. Code Gundacker, and not only that, but anyone that uses my code, PrizePicks sees, oh snap, they use Guns code. Let's send him some love. So every month we do get a nice little sponsor payout from PrizePicks. So it's a good way to support the channel without actually having to like get a VIP pass or something like that. And you guys can grind your own grind and get something in reward as a reward with that double your first deposit bonus. So everybody wins, man. Go check that out, man. Love for you guys to get on there. And we've been pumping out PrizePicks content on the daily right here at Gundacker Gaming. Whispering. Arizona Drama says, on Fanduel, I got a lineup with Trey and Giannis that I'm loving. No Jokic today. Hope it doesn't burn me in single entry. Doug says, thoughts on Aaron Gordon? I love him tonight. I usually don't have like a high hope past Jokic, but on a 4-game slate, Aaron Gordon, Will Barton, they all could be live for 30 fantasy points. Steve says, you almost went Macho Man. I almost did it again. Sometimes my fingers just start getting away from me. I'm like, yeah, dig it. Get that Jokic rebounds. Bernie Trees. Why did I think Demetrius? Bernie Trees, baby, man. I appreciate that sub. People have stopped playing DFS because of PrizePicks. Good playing. Carlos. Josh, tell him. Right? You get way more action on PrizePicks than DFS, haven't you? Like you've made the almost full transition. You're post-op. God dang it.
Yeah, I get alerts from FanDuel saying you still have money in your account if you want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I played FanDuel and DraftKings for forever, and I don't know, I just made this switch and I really like it. I feel like you can follow a process and kind of stick with it, unlike having to worry about minutes and
gotta go jam in third string forward.
Late scratches, yeah.
Oh my God, do I play Wenyan Gabriel? Anyway, Bulls at the Bucks. Next game on the docket, 8 p.m. here. So a nice little 30-minute stagger between each game so far. Magic at 7, Knicks at 7:30, and then the Bucks 8 p.m. start time here. Project starting fire for the Bulls: Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine, maybe Javonte Green, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic up against Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Bobby Portis. So we got a 234 total, a 7-point spread in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks. So I think both of these starting lineups put an asterisk, card subject to change here. First of all, the Bulls side, Zach LaVine was downgraded to questionable midday due to potential load management concerns. We have seen them strategically rest him, dealing with that knee soreness. And usually those midday cues, we brace ourselves and expect them to be out. And of course, if the Bulls were without Zach LaVine, that's without 25 average points per game and 35 minutes. So it certainly would be a spot where we need to distribute and replace some of the usage, the minutes elsewhere on the team. And the Bucks without Chris Middleton here, and that represents a lot of minutes and shot volume and stuff like that. And as far as what lineups we might see here, well, last time these two teams played, the Bulls actually threw out a Twin Towers lineup that started Tristan Thompson alongside Nikola Vucevic. When it happened, I thought it was like a Tristan Thompson, Grayson Allen, War of Words, Alex Caruso thing. So I didn't know if that was going to be a long-term thing. We haven't really seen that consistently, but without Zach LaVine, maybe they go Twin Towers, because we've also seen the Bucks use a starting lineup that has Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis. Whoa, there's so many possibilities. We can do so many activities. We can do aerobics. So keep an eye on the starting lineups for the Bucks, because I certainly think that it could be Portis, Brook Lopez, Giannis, Grayson, Drew. And then if Zach LaVine didn't play, I guess we would assume Ayo Dosunmu starts here, but certainly in this spot we can quickly game script the need to chuck some threes here, and a guy like Kobe White could play a stronger role. So lots to watch. This game is predictably unpredictable. What we do know, DeRozan's going to have a lot of usage, Vucevic will be there, Giannis Antetokounmpo will have a lot of usage, and Drew Holiday without Chris Middleton gets a pretty significant boost. So I guess where do we start? I guess we'll go to the NBA Wowie tool via Add More Funds, and we will open up the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll start with the Bucks side here, and it's going to be a pretty simple query that we want to accomplish, and that's going to be putting Giannis on the court and Drew Holiday on the court and taking Middleton off the court. And I'm talking a little bit slower and a little bit more just because I'm stalling time, because it's going so slow that I don't want there to be a natural pause and you guys to get disinterested. So that's why I'm talking like that. And also I'll raise the tone of my voice, I'll lower it, I'll whisper. It just kind of keeps your brain mentally attached to what I'm saying, because I'm still stalling for time because my computer is going so slow here. All right, so let's put Giannis Antetokounmpo on the court here for the Bucks. And oh my goodness, still so slow. Guys, we might have to do a GoFundMe. I might have to hit one of these Raj $500. What you did on PrizePicks the other day, a $500 card.
Take it? Yeah, it didn't
might
work
have to
out.
do that.
Went 0 for 4 on this.
God dang, bro. No.
Hey, let's do it again today. Let's get it back.
Bro, you should have hedged that.
I'm honestly, maybe like tomorrow at the bigger slate. I like doing it on a bigger slates.
I know. This I would not do it today.
Yeah. Maybe if it goes decent, we'll do another one tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
Raj wins money just to spend it.
Hey, that's the point of life. I mean, you win that money, spend it.
Yeah. I'm still trying to get this query done, man. Lately, man, the last couple of days, my computer's just not been.
No. It's Add More Funds, man.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's something with their server. It's running super slow.
I wonder if there's an alt site I can use for the meantime. All right, so Giannis and Drew on. I'm almost there. I'm just gonna have to ignore. Guys, we know Drew Holiday and Giannis are gonna have higher usage rates. And one thing about Drew Holiday is, I believe his assist rate peaked over 30%. God dang it. Yeah, it peaked over 30%. So the prop betting lines on his assist line was at like 7.5 in some spots. So a lot more expected production and a lot more usage to go his way. So obviously we are all going to be privy to Giannis Antetokounmpo could be the top scorer on the slate. Him and Jokic will probably wrestle each other for that designation in a lot of projection models. But I'm wondering, where do we think Jrue Holiday fits into our lineups tonight? Because Ayo Dosunmu, Alex Caruso, they are scrappy defensively, but this is just one of those defenses don't really matter leagues, and a guy like Jrue Holiday can kind of fill the stat sheet with assists, with points, and peripherals. He can get those steals and blocks too. Jrue Holiday, a 28% assist rate, 20% usage rate. Giannis, a 32% usage rate, 33% assist rate. Giannis has a 1.8 fantasy point per minute well, since January 1st without Chris Middleton with Jrue Holiday. So Giannis literally could drop 90 fantasy points tonight. If I look at my first run fantasy projections for the entire slate versus Jokic, I have Giannis leading the slate in fantasy points, about 60 DKP, 63 on Fanduel, just inching out to Jokic. So Giannis could be the guy to go get, guy to go pay up for. Raj, you mentioned Giannis is going to keep you away from Trae Young tonight at 11.2 on FanDuel, 12.1 on DK. I imagine 70% of Giannis lineups has Obi Toppin to kind of offset the price, so it does neutralize the impact, so to speak. But for good reason, man. Giannis could absolutely come out here and triple dub. Bing bong.
Old super chatted $2. You like Nora's minutes tonight?
Do you like Nora's minutes? Appreciate that $2 dono, Cheyenne. Do I like Nora's minutes tonight? I don't have him for anything spectacular. How's he been since Brook Lopez has been back? So let's go look at Milwaukee. I guess there's a case that he could fill in some of those Chris Middleton minutes. I don't know. I just don't have a strong lean on how Mike Budenholzer fills out this hole for Middleton. So if they go Brolo, if they do a lineup that is Brolo, Bobby Portis, Giannis, and then Grayson Allen and Jrue Holiday, then I'm not sure that I'm expecting a ton of minutes for Nwora, but I guess Nwora should probably be live for 20-plus minutes. That's probably something I'll tweak in my model. And if he gets 20 minutes, he could be a point per minute. At that price point, he certainly fits as a potential value play. Wouldn't be a core or anything like that, but yeah, I think it'd be a fine look. And then narrative in this game, Alex Caruso actually coming back after breaking his fracturing his wrist on a somewhat dirty play by Grayson Allen. And now after last night, Caruso not only played over 30 minutes, but they announced Caruso would be part of the starting lineup going forward. So couple new look approaches in this game that we didn't have as recently as a week ago in their last outing. So, Rod, we'll start with you. Giannis Antetokounmpo keeping you away from Trae Young. How much Giannis is too much Giannis?
I mean, it's Giannis in this matchup against Chicago. No Middleton. I don't think there is such thing as too much Giannis. You want to go 80%? That's cool. You want to go 100%? And that's fine. You want to go 50? That's okay too. Get all the Giannis here. It should be him and Jokic should battle out for the highest score on the slate. I'm going to be shocked if both these guys drop 70 plus here. So if you want to get both of them in a lineup, I think that's probably going to be optimal. You can find some of that value. Jrue Holiday got it like 7,800. No Middleton. So give me all of that as well. And I think even a guy and if you want to alternate it, a Grayson Allen or Bobby Portis, don't hate that with Middleton out. I think there's plenty of points to go around here in the spot. And with Chicago, you got Zach LaVine, that midday questionable. I know it could be time to lock and load on DeMar DeRozan here. It's going to be his show, 8,600 against Milwaukee. I like it here, 8,600. Vooch against Milwaukee, again, carry a bit of extra load at 7,700 with no Zach LaVine. I don't hate that too. Not the best matchup, but at 7,700, you're just getting such a cheap price tag for a guy with 50-point upside here. So I like that. And the third guy, I mean, whether it's Caruso or Dosunmu, going to have to take some of the shots that LaVine's not going to take. One of those guys will probably get you a 30, 35 fantasy point game. That would definitely be optimal.
Yeah, the double down on that price point for Vucevic on DK at 7,700. He's 69 on FanDuel. That's nice. And he's been close to a 1.3 fantasy point per minute without LaVine. Bing bong.
Super chatted $1.99.
$2 dono.
Gong.
Okay,
what up, Dacker gang? Okay. with that.
But wouldn't you say that Vooch's potential depends on the starting lineup if Tristan Thompson starts alongside him?
Yeah. So I mean, you're skeptical? Like you're scared of Thompson taking some rebounds?
Rebounds, blocks. I mean, just you want your center to be the primary guy at the 5, right? You don't want another big in there bumping.
Yeah, I feel a little weird starting Thompson with Vooch. I mean, against Portis and I think against Portis and Giannis.
So they
did it last time.
Yeah, they literally did it last time. But Brolo didn't play that game. It just they started TT, and that was before Patrick Williams. Javonte Green might have even been out for that game. Let me double check. But TT's I don't trust TT to play meaningful minutes, but I'm willing to be wrong on that. But in that game, Tristan Thompson played, and it looks like he fouled out in 20 minutes. And there is no Javonte Green played 24 minutes. There was no Pat.
Because I guess if the Bucks roll out that big lineup again too, that would make them play Tristan or start Tristan even more, right? Like if they start Brolo with Portis.
Logistically, yeah, you would want a little bit more size down there, especially if Levine's not in the lineup.
But I assume they probably started Tristan Thompson alongside Vooch because how bad of a defender Vooch is guarding the paint and to help out with Giannis, right?
So the very next game was another tough paint matchup and against the 76ers, and that was a game Vooch didn't play. So I really don't know what their philosophy and what their intended use. Like when it happened, when Tristan Thompson started that day, I literally just overreacted and imagined he wanted to kill Grayson Allen on the dunk ball, and he didn't. But that was my expectation. But then, like after that Sixers game, they've kind of been over the TT starting role. But I would agree that matchup wise, it would make sense, especially if we lost Zach LaVine. So it should be. I should continue to state that Zach LaVine's not officially out. He was just downgraded to questionable for rest concerns. So they could just use Devontae Green. They could put 2 guards in the lineup with DeSumo, Caruso, and Kobe White. Spin the wheel, make a deal on those guys. Skill set wise,
Giannis. Yeah, Giannis is gonna feast.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What about DeRozan then? How much DeRozan?
So again, that would for me be contingent on the status of Zach LaVine. If LaVine doesn't play, DeRozan was scoring over 30 real points more than he wasn't earlier this season, and he's really doggone cheap on both sides. Fanduel and DK, Fanduel 78, DK 86. I'm getting a 40-plus fantasy point projection as is right now. It is a back-to-back. Milwaukee's still favored by 7, so there's still life for a blowout. The Bulls have certainly regressed and not been that competitive against teams that are not below 500. So there's still life in a blowout, and the way the league's been lately, I'd hate to fall victim to another one of those, but it's still a ranked outcome. But the price is just too much. DeRozan literally hit 10K right with LaVine out, so I would certainly be on DeRozan and just kind of accept the range of outcomes, because I gotta imagine that 28 points per game goes to 30 plus without LaVine. So I'd be there. I'd also be curious with Kobe White, just from a skill set against the Bucks. We know it. You guys know it's gospel. 3-point shooters against the Bucks. Kobe White would probably fit the bill as the guy that could have the highest volume and best shot attempts from behind the arc. And if he got hot at under 5K and landed into 20 real points, maybe 25 and a couple per riffs, I'd be willing to go there. And also, right here in front of our face, Alex Caruso at 4K played over 30 minutes last night. That's kind of too cheap. I think he's going to be a point per minute guy. You put him in a pace-up spot, he can pick a couple of pockets, man, get some steals. And I actually liked him for a prop that I mentioned in the Odds Jam video that involved maybe compensating for the absence of Zach LaVine. So a lot to like here, and I think the Bulls are actually going to be underpriced as a team if LaVine's out of the mix. But Drew Holiday, Raj, do you play Drew Holiday at 8K?
Of course. No, okay. Middleton, you play the other. I mean, anytime it's been the rule like that for the past few years. Anytime one of those guys ruled out, you play the other 2.
Okay. Everyone hates Chris, says they're gonna clothesline the crap out of Grayson Allen tonight. Yeah, Caruso wasn't involved in that last game, right? So You do wonder if they get into it. Josh, you said there's some political. We're cool, no problem.
Yeah, some PC shout out by Caruso saying it's no bad blood.
Yeah, we'll see.
But he did say that it was not. It was basically not cool. Not
cool. Just like Raj, according to Twitter.com/
Again, bunch of weirdos playing Fortnite together at 11 p.m. at night, talking about I'm not cool. Come on now, let's keep this 100. Let's keep it a buck.
I was gonna say, so let's say they go back to that lineup and they start Tristan Thompson and Vooch together, and LaVine is out.
Mm-hmm.
Does that lower your exposure on Vooch? And if they don't run that lineup and they go with like the 2-guard set that you're saying, and LaVine's out, that would just make Giannis lock and load, right?
Yeah, Giannis is live no matter what. I know Tristan Thompson rebound is it, right? He's like young DeAndre Jordan, right? I'm not expecting much from Tristan Thompson, and he can be foul centric. Vucevic maybe can compensate for some more looks by shooting. I wouldn't like to lose rebounds for Vooch. It's possible, but price adjusted to the situation, he's probably too cheap on a 4-game slate. If we lose LaVine, like you got to assume that DeRozan and Vooch would probably be the highest floor fantasy targets from this spot. So I just think no matter what, the price is going to be too low, even if TT started at the 5. And think about it, if TT starts at the 5 here, it's not the same as his last spot. Bobby Portis and Brolo, they both stretch out, right? There could be nobody in the paint at all times, just playing around the horn. So I probably wouldn't let it get to me too much.
I guess there'll be more 3-point attempts opportunities for Vooch too if TT's in the paint as well, and especially against the Bucks too. So yeah, I get it.
Parks says Holiday points over 18.5 or assists over 7.5. Ooh, I think those are both really sharp lines. So usually when lines are all good and I don't really want to play on the seesaw, I'll try and throw a blanket over it. And in Drew Holiday's case, a guy that averages 1.5 steals per game, over 2 stocks per game, I'd probably go grab fantasy points to just kind of get a little bit of all. What up, Jermaine? Top of the morning to the Australian brothers. Jermaine, maybe Chronic will pop in sooner or later. Mox says Jermaine, the prop master downer. Yeah, let's go. What up, Conscious? Little Detroit. Shout out to everyone in chat. You guys are crushing it. 180 plus with 62 likes. All right, so now we put a little bit more pressure. We got to 62. Can we get to 100? Triple digits, man. 100 likes on a random Tuesday stream for 4 games. Only the realest of the realists would allow that to happen, right? Make that Hall of Fame. Second taco is going to be Jokic, 10.5 rebounds. Yeah, Chris, that looks like a pretty good line. By the way, guys, milestone today. We broke 6,800 subs on the channel. So we are less than 200 away from 7K. It's the final countdown. We're at like 30 new subs today. We've been crushing it. You guys are killing it. So if we get to 7K by the end of March, that would be a huge, huge milestone as a community that we achieved. And by the way, as a community, the fun don't stop in this chat. Make sure you guys are in the free, 100% free Discord. Link to that in the description below. Get in there, man. Just bring the vibes, man. All that toxicity, toxic masculinity. I gamble 8,000 on the ball. We don't care about that. I don't care if you're dropping $1 parlays or $20, whatever it is, man. We just want to see each other be great. Bring those vibes, and we'll be glad to have you. Click the link in the description below. And let's talk about the main event tonight. The Clippers, the Nuggets. Project starting 5 for the Clippers, Reggie Jackson, Amir Coffey, like the drink. Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, Ivica Zubac, taking on Monte Morris, Will Barton, Aaron Gordon, Jeff Green, and Nikola Jokic. A 223 total, 7-point spread. Favorite the home team, Denver. The mad scientist, Josh, man. I think your discussion, your breakdown on this game was so good that now that we've doubled the audience, maybe you should revisit and let us know what you saw. Josh is such a student of the game and borderline nerd and crazy brain that just never stops and never sleeps. for fun, Josh went and rewatched the last regular season game between the Nuggets and Clippers. By the way, I still have this tab open. The last 2 games for the Clippers and Nuggets couldn't be any more different. On January 11th, final score of 87-85 Clippers.
Is there context behind that game right there? I don't remember that one.
Yeah. So what happened before that January 11th game, they actually got into a time machine and went back to 1969, played that game there, recorded it, and then put it on TV. And then Doc, Marty, Nicola, Marcus, they got into the time machine and played a modern game the next time out. But no, that first game that went a combined 170 points. Your starting lineup for Denver: Jokic, Gordon, Monte Morris, Austin Rivers, sure, JaMychal Green. I guess there's your context, but are we really letting that be the reason that game went back in time? And then the Clippers started the same projected starting lineup that they have today. And then, of course, the last game was literally the complete opposite. Like the game total dang near doubled. It went down to the wire, went to overtime, and the starters for the Clippers that game was Terrence Mann. And maybe that's a difference today. Reggie Jackson, Zubac, Ibaka, Coffee. So the starting lineup for the Clippers does project different that game than it does today in the previous game. But for the most part, it's not like drastically different. So you watched this game in that OT thriller. This game in Denver tonight. What did you see from that game that you want to tell tonight?
I think the Nuggets figured out a weakness in the Clippers, with Jokic just basically running. I know he does this a lot. I mean, he's just like LeBron. He's a point guard 5, but he basically just took it over completely in the second half and just went off. Although they were very efficient offensively. They did sacrifice defensively. They couldn't stop the Clippers, especially Reggie and Zubac. But yeah, I mean, Jokic was just handling the ball up top, and Ty Lue tried doing double team on ball and off ball, and Jokic would just respond by passing it. And the last play of the game was crazy. So Jokic was doing his usual thing. He had the ball at the top. He faked the pass to the cutter, and then he passed it to the wing out and all the way across court in the corner. And it was Aaron Gordon, and he hit the 3 at the last second to win. I think it works so well. I just assume that the Nuggets are going to go back to it. But Ty Lue, he's a really good coach, and he's going to adapt, and he's going to try to throw something different at him. And the different wild card in this matchup that wasn't in the last one is Rocco. So I think Rocco can definitely help out with some double teaming and traps on Jokic. So it's something to think about. But I mean, he should thrive in this matchup. But the Clippers are on a 3-game losing streak. They've been pretty solid, surprisingly. Just like a really cohesive unit that Ty Lue's running. But yeah, they're hitting a skid right now, and they gotta get it back. And I saw Paul George is doing some non-contact, so he's trying to ramp back up. So maybe that gets them motivated. I mean, they need to win this game. But it's always hard in Mile High, right? Like, I mean, going in there and that game that I watched, the overtime game, that was in Denver. So maybe they get some nostalgia back in that game. But yeah, it was a great game. And surprisingly, Zubac had a great game. He did get in foul trouble. Because he had no answer for Jokic, especially when Jokic gets the ball at the top. He was just doing Euro steps on him and dribbling by him, and there's nothing he could do.
Right. You know what you described to me sounds like? You know how RPOs and triple options have kind of taken over the league, NFL last half a decade? It's like Jokic is creating a triple option when it comes to throwing to the cutter or to the guy on the outside,
on the wing,
getting a guy to bite for it.
That's the Nuggets' bread and butter, man. That's their thing, especially those corner threes. And guys like Bones Highland, he's coming in and he's giving a spark off the bench. I don't know if he played in that game, can't remember. And I think guys like him will thrive, and I think it'll eat into Barton's production, who's been kind of just blah lately. And yeah, I mean, so I like Bones in this matchup, and I like of course Jokic. And then on the Clippers side, yeah, I mean, Reggie, they had no answer for him. So and your projections always like Reggie. And if this game can stay close and not go in the time machine, I would pair. If I was gonna play Jokic, I would pair it with Reggie, just because if the game is gonna stay close, it's gonna be because of guys like Reggie. He's gonna put the team on his back.
Raj, do you have more Giannis or Jokic?
See, the logical play seems Giannis. Tournament play is definitely Jokic.
The tournament plays whoever's lower owned.
Exactly. I think Jokic is going to be lower owned just because with no Middleton, it's just going to be an automatic click with Giannis. But like I said, it's averaging 70 against the Clippers this year. It's Nikola Jokic, so I think tournaments would definitely do more Jokic. I'm leaning more Jokic just because chasing 100K, maybe like 60-40.
Yeah.
Both a great spot. Like, if you can get both of them in a lineup, I think that's definitely the best way to go.
On FanDuel, anything is possible.
On DraftKings, let's see. On DraftKings,
it's Obi. You get Obi Toppin.
Yeah, you get Obi Toppin,
and then probably Caruso.
Yeah, you're left with 4,200. So you put Obi Toppin in there.
Giannis, Jokic. Yeah, and then we're just gonna not take the 60 from DeMar DeRozan. We're put Obi Toppin in there. The Caruso.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in the mix. That brings us to 45.50 per. So yeah, you're pinching pennies here. Maybe Mr. Evan Fournier in the absence of Mr. Randall. Right. It's bad. I don't know.
Porter Jr.
God dang it! Now we're just saying names.
I'm just saying, Gary Payton. If you gonna get some minutes,
stop it. We've nope.
I'm just saying, how do we value 270 bombs?
Right. I think if you think the 70s matter that much on this slate, that means you don't think there's that many 50s, which I don't know that I agree with. I think if we lose Zach LaVine, obviously DeRozan is underpriced. Drew Holiday has potential. The whole Knicks team without Julius Randle, outside of RJ Barrett being under 6K, like there's real upside in a lot of these other spots. So I think my most common build will not try the double studs and scrubs. So I don't know. Chat, what do you guys got, man? We're almost at 200 viewers. How'd the likes go? We're at 78. Let's go. Can we get to 100? 122 more likes? I believe. Who we got in chat? Shout out to John Swan. What up, John? The John Swan bomb. If you want to win tonight, play Aaron Gordon. Doug, I want you to know, I looked over this chat, I feel like 3 or 4 times now, and every time I just see capital letters Aaron Gordon from you. So, Doug, I don't know if you put yourself in a situation where you just can't get away from Eric Gordon, but why are you trying to get all of us down with you, bro? No, I don't hate the thought of Gordon just for points per minute, or paying for some minutes here. 4,500 on FanDuel is really cheap. Getting a pretty solid projection on that, so I don't think you're out of pocket for that. Carlos says, as a Laker fan, I took that personally. Don't anything is possible. Me gun. Hey man, shout out to KG. Shout out to Ray Allen. It's all good now. Ray Allen and KG are good. I don't know about Rondo and Paul Pierce, but KG and looks like Ray Allen made up for it. What up, Malaker? Parks is gun. Do you have any feelings towards Jokic? First half points over 13.5. Josh, man, I can maybe deflect that a little bit. Have you noticed any quirks in Jokic's first half run? We did kind of talk about how DeMarcus Cousins has been a little bit more.
Yeah, I actually like his 4.5 point prop in the first half.
DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a little digging into that then. What do we like in here? Huh? So we look at this Boston. I just almost went Macho Man again. Ooh, dig it. Look at this DeMarcus Cousins. He didn't play that many minutes against Boston first half, but Jokic plays the bulk of the first, bulk of the second. The Cavs game. What is this first half point prop for Boogie?
4.5.
That is pretty low. Yeah, I mean, you might be stretching it. It looks like in the first half he's playing about 7-8 minutes consistently. So you're hoping for a couple bucks, but Boogie's.
I'm hoping for a 3 and a bucket.
Yeah, and he can draw some fouls, so I don't think that's crazy. But Jokic's first half, the line is 13.5 real points. you have any strong convictions? I think Jokic is just one of those guys who facilitates so well that I don't want to get too caught up on the scoring. So I probably, if I wanted some first half action, I'd probably look at fantasy points, and then for a guy like Jokic, I'd probably just throw a blanket over the whole game. But I guess this game does, sometimes games just get weird. You go into Denver, you go into Utah, the altitude. Teams like the Clippers can fall flat. So I don't know. I'd probably just look at fantasy points for Jokic, though, if I wanted to. Arizona says, I'm down with Gordon at 4,500. Yeah, I'm with that. Steve says, Pierce is good, too. He hugged it out with Ray and KJ. All right, so what about Rondo, though? Look at Capella first half points. So, yeah, so Capella – so we got the list, Josh. The first half point guys. It's Clint Capella, Steven Adams, Tyler Hero, Jalen Brunson – those type of guys. So Capella's first half point prop being there, and then that front court getting a little bit more depleted on the other side with Randall being down, and then maybe Capella has been somebody that gets fed by Trae Young, and if Trae Young doesn't have a Lou Williams or a Bogdanovich behind him, he might get a couple more minutes. So first half Capella was 15 or something like that. Let's pull up NBA first half. Accidentally clicked Andrew Wiggins first half. They got him at 15.5 fantasy score, 5.5 points. I think both are live. Pelicans didn't quite gel, and the Memphis Grizzlies, we talked about how their defense is pretty strong, so I'm willing to kind of forgive that a little bit. What else we got, chat? Is there a code for PrizePicks? Yeah, Lawrence, I'm glad you asked. The code is actually GUNDACKER. You see it on this screen. If you use my code when you sign up, you know the drill, man. They double your first deposit up to $100, and of course they show me a little love. So if you guys haven't jumped on PrizePicks, check it out. Code GUNDACKER, just like the channel. And then I appreciate that. If you join if you guys join the PrizePicks, if you guys join PrizePicks using my code, I think what we'll do is we'll make a role in the free Discord, just kind of giving you guys a separate color. And I have a list of everyone that has signed up using my code. I think that's something that we should have already been doing, but I just thought about it and I wanted to put it out there, and we're gonna start doing that. So we'll make a role for the free Discord for everyone who has signed up using code GUNDACKER, and you guys will be worshipped in the Discord. But make sure you're in the free Discord no matter what. Even if you didn't use my code, I will forgive you. Gun, did you look at that lineup I wrote out for you? Man, Jim, if you don't mind, could you post it again? It might take me a while to find it. So many of you guys being awesome today and chatting. I'm on it. All right, Lawrence. And we're at 84 likes. I'm just happy today. You guys are making me happy. So, Raj, what is... Nothing. Yeah. Nothing. I just got a DM on this other screen. Raj, if Zach LaVine got ruled out like right now, does that change your it sounds like you really want to get creative and find a way to put Giannis and Jokic into the mix together, but DeRozan seems pretty underpriced if there was no LaVine.
Like DeRozan, Vooch, Drew Holiday, RJ Barrett, those guys could all go for 50. And if they do, then playing, Giannis and Jokic with these 3-4K guys won't get it done. So I think just playing one of Giannis or Jokic and then, getting, a couple of those guys in with some value might be the play. So DeRozan would definitely be up there. Drew's, right up there. I think DeRozan won, but I think Drew's close and RJ Barrett's close too.
Okay.
So, I mean, he's great play, but I mean, DeMar DeRozan with no Zach LaVine versus RJ Barrett with no Randall, I think it's a lot closer.
No. It's not a lot. What do you mean a lot closer?
You think DeRozan's a snap call?
It's not that close.
I don't know. I mean,
I got DeRozan at 45 point blank as it is, and I had Barrett right now at 46. So it's like on the line, and if you lose LaVine, man, that's so much that you got to compensate for. And DeRozan was literally 10K, man. I don't know, man. I don't think it's that close. At least not for me. It was DeRozan FTP by game log without Zach LaVine last.
It's tougher matchup for DeRozan too, no? With Brook Lopez back, I know Milwaukee's defense takes a step up.
I'm not worried about it, but I mean, sure. But I would be more worried about I'd be more happy about the lanky Middleton being out.
That's fair.
Last 15 games of DeRozan. or without Levine. I guess we'll just focus on the last couple. I guess it's more mid-40s. Maybe it's the real points. There is no sample size on Barrett without Randall. I guess the pushback, the caveat would be that the Hawks are a bottom 5 defensive team, so it's statistically a better matchup for Barrett, but 50, 53, 51, 53, 66 is 4 of the last 5 games of DeRozan without Levine, and those are not necessarily matchups that are as high energy as this spot at Milwaukee, but I could concede that a back-to-back maybe takes a little pepper out of their step, so it is what it is. Dave Kavetsky, what up, Dave? Gun, Raj, any love on playing Lopez, try and get a little different? I didn't even once think about playing Brook Lopez today.
I don't hate that call. I don't hate that call at all. 4,400. He played 20 minutes last game. If he sees maybe 25, at 4,400, he can definitely get you a 30 bomb. Would not be shocked.
Yeah, 20 minutes against Minnesota, 25 fantasy points, no Middleton. Yeah, Dave, I didn't even think about it, but hey, man, if I'm willing to take a shot on some Markelle Fultz, why not take a line or two with Brook Lopez and a $150? Malakar says, if hand building, do you put all lineups in a quarter, then import them into your saved games, or is there a better way on FanDuel? So how do I say this? I actually have a video on this channel. If you type in how to upload 150 lineups on FanDuel, I think I'm the only. I need to redo it, but essentially, I just put a dummy lineup on FanDuel, but now you can actually reserve on FanDuel and DraftKings without putting a lineup. And then I download that CSV and I just have it open. And then when I do my fantasy cruncher and I get my lineups going, I just copy and paste from that CSV to the other, save it, and re-upload the FanDuel one. That probably sounds a little confusing, but there's a video on this channel. It's how to upload 150 lineups FanDuel. Guy at Places says Bobby Porter's going off today. Cheyenne says Raj winning again, period. RJ does everything, especially lately. I mean, are we literally like DeRozan was literally trailing Michael Jordan in terms of like consecutive 30-point games, and most of them coming without Levine. It's not like DeRozan was doing it all, man. So I'm not anti RJ Barrett today. I'm just saying like DeRozan is logistically a 50-60 fantasy point waiting to happen once Levine gets rolled out. So, but I like RJ Barrett just the same. Jim says Monte Morris, Fournier, Giannis, Toppin, Jokic, Caruso, Jericho Sims, and Gallo. So that was the get Jokic and Giannis into a lineup sweepstakes. So it costs you Monte Morris, Fournier, Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin's probably just like a free square. Everyone will have him. Might push 70-80%. Caruso, I think, will generate some. I guess Jericho Sims, Morris, and Fournier. I mean, even Fournier, I think, might not be that contrarian. So Morris and Sims. Yeah, man, if that's the price you pay to get Jokic and Giannis, I don't hate it. I think I'm going to end up going one of the studs and trying to flatten out from there. And I think I might be leaning Giannis a little bit more. Ethan, what up, Ethan? Yo, we're seeing some new names in chat today. Shout out to you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, obviously if you're typing in chat, you're subbed. But if you want to type in chat, you don't know why you can't. It's because you got to be subbed. Hit that sub button, man. Join the fun. We're putting out tons of content. Is Zubac or Hartenstein attractive at all? I like Zubac. I feel like never mind. I was gonna do a whole bit there where I feel like Zubac would take you out, show you a good time, but he probably wouldn't call you. Hartenstein, though, feels like he would get to some pillow talk. Zubac, yeah. Josh, you mentioned Zubac had a great game, at least for fantasy, against Jokic in that overtime game. So, I mean, Zubac is live for 30, 40-plus fantasy points. And if you want to build backwards or build opposite Jokic here, Zubac is 6K. I mean, this is like no man's land, right? 6K for a center. Everyone's probably going to look at like Vooch or Jokic up top, maybe punt it at the bottom, try to find somebody that benefits from no Julius Randle, maybe even go down to like Mitchell Robinson. So I do think in tournaments and depending on how many lineups you guys are running, you probably don't have to give up a ton of equity to get to a little Zubac. Last couple games are not going to look too flattering. Just 21 minutes against Utah, kind of a blowout. 17 minutes against Toronto. I don't know what the reason.
Foul. He got into early foul trouble, and then just Tyler just abandoned him. So
against Toronto, I see 1 foul against Toronto, but I do see against Cleveland picked up 6 fouls. So I mean, if I just look past that,
the Cleveland game. Sorry, that's what I meant.
50 plus fantasy points is a realistic. Not a realistic, but it is a range of outcome for Zubac, especially if you want to look at what he did against Denver last time. On the season, 3 games against Denver, he's averaging 30 fantasy points. Would be a stocking stuffer. You know what I'm saying? Not like a core play, but in tournaments, I definitely could see Zubac being an impactful click for optimal. I ain't going to lie, DeRozan's in all my lineups. Yeah, DeRozan just seems like he could be a smash play in the potential absence of Levine. Is RJ a must play? Yeah, I think RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin probably on pace for amongst the highest owned players on the slate. Must play is subjective depending on your risk tolerance and how you like to get action. I would just say, remember on these small slates, at least for me, I tend to give more credence to floor than ceiling. So even if RJ Barrett just limped away with like a 40 fantasy points, which is something he's been doing with Julius Randle, that 40 fantasy points on a 4-game slate, especially at like 50% ownership, certainly has a higher chance of meaning something today and still being optimal than on a slate like last night, where maybe you squeeze out some juice for chasing some ceiling and forego it. But I think RJ Barrett's just way too cheap against a bottom 5 defense without Julius Randle, especially playing 40 minutes. So must play. Yeah, I probably wouldn't enter a cash game without him. I wouldn't enter single entries without him. And I would go from there. Zubac tournament play for sure. Always scares me. Yeah. You know what else scares me? Raj. I don't know. I was trying to set myself up for like a segue, and then I never came up with a punchline.
So you gotta do the last minute insert Raj.
Yeah, I was gonna say Raj's mom, but then I was like, that is mean. Why would I say? Yeah, that's not me. That's not who I am.
So mean.
It is mean. Jeremiah says Reggie Jackson or Poole. Jordan Poole? Probably. He's been 20-plus real points, go from there. But I don't hate the thought. If you're going to play some Jokic, I don't hate the thought of Reggie kind of bringing it back there. That makes sense. Ethan says, haven't thought about DeMar at all. Sometimes disappoints a tough matchup. Yeah, I think that's fair, Ethan. I would be more so inclined to get to aggressive amount of DeMar if Levine is out. And like I said, Levine being the midday queue is why we're kind of bracing ourselves for DeRozan to be a guy that picks up all that extra usage. James says, oh my God, bro, I never pulled a great NFT. Just pulled a Conor McGregor out of 1,500 on a UFC strike. Okay, let's go, James. Congratulations. Yeah. Glad to see. I haven't got any of the UFC NFTs. Last NFT I bought was a Derek Jeter helmet on DraftKings. And, yeah. Anyway. Chat, that's got to be it, man. We got to get out of here. I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord in about 15-20 minutes. We'll be chopping it up. That's behind the paywall at RunDFS.com. Remember, they did drop the MLB season package, so that's going to encapsulate all of the VIP products, NBA, NASCAR, the Daily Voice Chats, the Discord, the Daily Prop Detector that Josh likes to manage. But we just put MLB season on it, so you know you get all of the baseball season just a couple weeks away. We're going to get the bomb detector back into our lives and get to stack it up, man. I'm so excited for that. So go check that out. That comes with a $100 credit to Fantasy Cruncher. Once you do, get into that VIP portal, click the Discord, and hit me up if you have any questions. And if you don't want any paid one, get into the free one and below, or be in both. It's okay if you're in both. Thoughts on Hampton for 3,900? Hampton should start. He's pretty unremarkable, but if he fills the role, you seem like you really want to get that Jokic and Giannis. So certainly live for some minutes, man. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Look out for Josh's first look video in the morning, and then a stream regular time tomorrow. We got the PrizePicks show at 2 p.m. Eastern, the DFS show at 3 p.m. Eastern. I love you guys. I appreciate you making part of my day, be part of your day. Tell somebody you love them because I love you. Good luck. God bless. And go in some money.